Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Toasty Ashes of Dusk story meet for Patreons. Oh, God. I
Introduce
am
yourself.
joined here by what?
Introduce yourself as Dupes the Loops.
Dupes. Why?
I don't know.
I am Dupes the Loops, and I am accompanied here by Art Blaster, Arthur Blastion,
Hey, hi. How's it going?
as well as Ives McChive.
McChivey, Ivy Chivey.
With a bomb diggity new haircut.
How
Yes.
much coffee did you have before this?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I had a 20-minute nap.
Oh,
20
okay,
minutes.
that explains it. All
You
right.
have you take death naps.
I do. I
You,
do.
You die, then you wake up. You're like, oh man, I went on this astral projection journey. And, everything's horrible, Brian. I'm sad.
That's exactly what it is too.
And then Brian's just like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, how'd that go for you? Is everything okay?
Well,
It's
just
true though.
having an episode.
If I take too long of a nap, then it feels like I got hit by a car, and then I can't
Oh,
function.
yeah, me
for
too.
the day.
Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah.
want to get up early from a nap. I want to keep sleeping.
I've
But-
taken naps and forgotten what day it was.
Oh, I've been there.
Like I woke up one time
I
and thought it was
haven't-
morning, and I was like, oh wait, no, it's like 6 p.m.
And then you can't go to bed until 3 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah, it's horrible. So today, we're discussing
Doors.
the most popular... Wait, what?
Nothing. Go on.
The most popular character in Toasty. Do you guys know
David
who
Doors.
that is?
I mean, I know, but I don't want to give away the secret.
Gildia's most eligible bachelor.
Geldia's biggest hot dog.
The glizzy.
the biggest hot dog.
We're gonna talk about Oscar today.
Yay.
Everyone's favorite afterthought that's thrown in.
Yeah. We need to shake up this
So,
scene. What should Oscar do?
I wanted. Could you tell us about the whole idea behind Oscar? Because I don't even know if I know the whole story about. I just came into the project being like, oh, there's a giant hot dog for some reason as a character.
So
I guess I have to deal with this.
when we first started throwing around the idea of Toasty and Marshall and all that, we didn't want it to be we didn't want to push the whole humanoid shape characters. We wanted to kind of go off the wall. And I don't know the exact inspiration for the hot dog, but that was one of the ideas we quickly ran with to to give the whole idea that, hey, they're not just people and Marshall's just this oddball out. They're there's also
Yeah.
this hot dog. But then we were like, no, wait, everyone's just gonna think it's food, so we need to make characters that aren't food too. So
Right. Because then it would just be like, oh, it's Food the Game. Oh, so exciting.
yeah, a bunch of food characters. How interesting.
But you were like, one of your inspirations was Adventure Time.
The glizzy. Yeah, that's how we wanted to kind of approach it, Adventure Time. We didn't even need to make characters that were we started adding animals and we're like, oh, it's not just food and animals, and then we started taking inanimate objects and turning those into NPCs, and it's just nope, not just inanimate objects. And then Ivy starts drawing up stuff like Gretch.
Yeah, you gotta have Dorito chip head people, and
Yeah, it can be, you can run into anything.
we do
Really?
have humans in Toasty. Technically, isn't Ash a human?
He's
Do
a
we ever
people, I
go
think.
into what the Geldians are?
Oh. You never really find out.
Okay, here's the thing.
But I mean, if Will's his brother,
Yes. But wait, what if he's adopted?
Yeah, you don't
Ooh.
know.
plot twist.
Exactly.
Well, what are your thoughts on that, Justin?
On what?
All of this, who are the Geldians? Are they human? Are they all different races? Are they?
I imagine them all being different races, and the
Yeah.
knights were all kind of from everything. That's why, like, when
Yeah.
we were making the prequel comic, I made some of the helmets not have, like, normal eye hole shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think one guy gave him, like, a Cyclops hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The Geldians, that's kind of a vague thing. That kind of pulls into the lore of the land stuff that we haven't really dived into about the game.
I was just happy you were willing to put humanoid characters in when I joined the project, because I don't think there were that many when we started.
There weren't, but at the
That's
same
like-
time, I was trying to avoid having too many, and by doing so, there weren't enough. You know?
Yeah, I remember when
Right.
I joined, I was like, there's still not enough humans. We need more.
We need to make some more humans, yeah. And then we were like, there's not enough feminine characters. And then I was like,
Yeah.
cracks their knuckles and like, I got this.
Yeah.
And that
Well, we have Rowan. She's
Rowan is
the witch.
amazing, and Rowan has quickly become such a big part of the
Yes.
plot and the main story.
And it's canon that she's trans, so it's
Yes.
nice to have a main, kind of like a prominently featured, positively portrayed,
Right.
trans woman.
Exactly.
So
And you
that's
find out
always a nice thing.
more about Rowan's past in the game, and there's a little bit of spoiler stuff in there too. It's exciting. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And oh yeah, can we? No, we can't talk about that. I was like, how much of her past can we reveal?
No.
None of it, I guess.
It's only the three of us know, so
Yeah. It's
we have to keep that under wraps.
it's sacred knowledge.
Yeah, it's in the sacred Toasty tome.
Yes, the sacred Toasty Tome. The secret Masspedia that we keep
Yeah.
hidden under Brian's mattress.
Oh, is that where it is?
Yeah, it's under with the secret million that we didn't pay taxes on.
Oh no, I just did the taxes too.
Oh crap! I wasn't supposed to say that part. I said the loud part quiet and the quiet part loud.
I'm great. Some guy's gonna show up at my house and be like, "You're being audited." I'm like, "Oh no."
It's okay. We moved it to the Cayman Islands. We're good.
Oh, there's so much that we're like holding back from everybody, and it's so exciting to imagine how people are going to react when they experience the game for the first time. Like after the game releases, we're gonna have to be like, hey, no spoilers for like a little while, please. Like let people enjoy the game.
Mm-hmm. No, totally. Like I try to keep all of our, I try to think ahead when I'm talking about stuff in these sessions, because if you go too far down the line on some of this story talk, you end up revealing a lot.
Yeah, and you're like, oh yeah, and then eventually Marshall meets up with Michael Jordan and defeats the monster. Oh crap.
And I
Brian,
don't
edit
want to
that
tell
out.
everyone.
Pay Stiefel not to say anything.
I'm surprised we haven't revealed the final boss yet.
Oh yeah.
With all these sessions we've been through, it's like, oh, and here's that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
I guess
really
we've
careful
gotten
about
close a
that.
few times, but luckily we've just been like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that thing. Okay.
We'll
I
just
will say this though.
Yeah, go ahead.
There is a spoiler about that on the walls in the VR Pocket Llama studio.
Oh, yeah, there is, but we haven't decided what it was.
In the Pocket Llama, you mean the VR thing?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
concept art by your desk, and some of it is
Top
spoilery,
secret.
but we're not giving it context, so we're not telling you.
Yeah, it's still out of context. And there's also like 10 empty coffee mugs.
Right. Yeah,
And
that's
then-
accurate. I mean, that's
Yeah, I
totally
figured it would be.
accurate. Yeah.
There's
That's
a
totally
post-it
accurate.
note on it that says, Ivy, do your fucking dishes.
Oh
Never.
my god, I should add post-it notes around the office.
Oh my, like, condescending post-it notes.
Oh my god.
Now I
And then
know.
Tanny was like, where do I sit? And then I went over to the secretary area and I was like, you sit here.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't believe you did that.
Yeah, you asshole. She called me a bad word.
I do feel like I'm gonna have to expand upon that as things progress, but
I'm telling you, a liquor store right across from it would be ideal. Ivy and I gotta snack up.
Yeah.
Get some
we do.
7-Eleven tuna sandwiches.
You gotta get those 7-Eleven tuna sandwich. Yes, one of the best. Also, get some bugles up in here.
Oh, bugle chips? Wear them on my fingers.
you know, actually, I should put a vending machine in the office.
Oh, is there a prefab for that? That'd be perfect.
I'm sure there is. I just have to find it, but that would be
That'd be
easy.
so good. Ivy, we need to get
I mean,
you.
if not, I can make it, but I don't want to.
Yep.
You can play it on desktop too and wander around, Ivy. Just so you know.
What
This
happened?
is Justin's weekly sell for VR chat to Ivy.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know.
Oh. Well, I mean,
By the
so
way,
you can
we're
download it
doing
for free and you can play with keyboard and mouse and just wander around.
By the way, we're doing all this fun crap without you.
Well, I
That's
mean,
not the way
he's
it goes.
invited you.
Yeah, I know. Totally on me.
Oh,
Plus,
Tanny also
I'm
put the
usually
bugle chips on her
sleeping.
Wait, you did what as a kid and maybe as an adult? Coffee and Bailey's?
finger. Oh wow, living it up,
That's hardcore.
living like Larry.
Oh no.
Oh, you know what we need? We need some hot fries.
Ooh, hot fries are good.
Please tell me you've had hot fries, Brian.
Oh, bugle chips. Yeah, I've had the hot fries. They're really good.
The hot freeze.
Hot freeze, hot fries.
The hot fry.
The
Yeah.
hot fries. I forget the brand that like was like the signature hot fry brand.
I know
Andy
it's just some guy with a fat nose eating
Yeah, it
fries.
was like a cartoon guy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Andy Cap.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool.
I
Alright.
just said Andy Craps before that, but
Oh.
Yeah, I remember making stupid jokes like that when I was a kid too. And now.
So
yeah, Oscar. Well, what a guy.
yeah. Well, I mean that's
We haven't even talked
it's
about
funny because I was about to go into the when like you go into a convenience store or 7-Eleven and they got like the hot dogs rolling on the thing, and I was about to move back into Oscar, but we could all but you just jumped into it. That's all right.
You know, what if we make his bed one of those hot dog rollers and Marshall wakes up rolling on it?
Oh my
And then
god.
he gets up and he's like, my bed's comfortable, right? That's it.
I was thinking about how there's so many napkins stuffed in his mailbox.
Yeah, and they're like all dirty or used or something.
Oh my god, did you read the Geldian Gazette?
Yep.
Oh gosh, there was I loved writing that up because there was where is it? Here. The part with a Shroomville resident who wishes to remain anonymous had this to say. Bert Croak, I wonder who that is. I saw him stuffing napkins into my mailbox. When I approached them, they dropped to the floor and rolled off.
It's Oscar. So he's like a criminal.
Who? I think they're like not like chaotic evil. Okay, maybe a little chaotic evil. I was gonna say chaotic neutral,
Steals
but
money.
He steals money.
He's literally the definition of a criminal. He didn't he hijack the Gov truck at one point?
yes.
In Avarice City, we made him hijack the Gov truck.
Yep.
Yeah, that was something that we were discussing.
I'm pretty sure he's a criminal.
Yeah, he. Tanny's like, is he though? He's just misunderstood. I can change him.
See, the funny thing is he shows up so much throughout the game that I'm like, is there more to him, or is he just like
Oh, there
Kinda
has
like
to be.
the
There has to
chaos.
be more to him because he's too apparent in the game for it not to be like any
Right.
background.
Well, I mean, like he's not like the final boss or anything.
he was probably old enough to be around during the time of the Geldians? So
Maybe.
like, or maybe he's just like some kind of abomination made by Larm. like, oh, I did experiments on hot dogs to try and make monsters, but this one is just an idiot.
He's just a jackass who steals money.
I look at it like when you cross paths with Oscar, it's a very funny interaction. But like whenever somebody like you'll get to a point in the game where someone's just like somebody stole my my right shoe or something, and then you're immediately gonna be like, well, I think I know who that is. Even though you're on the other side of Geldia, you're like, who do we know who likes to steal shit?
So like, what would? Go ahead, Brian.
I was just gonna say, I do think it would be kind of cool if at some point in the game, even though he's just been like this criminal and pretty selfish about things, that like he does end up helping you in some situation. Just like, I don't know, maybe you're trying, maybe in like Everett City, you're trying to get into the casino or something, and he knows.
He
like,
teaches you how
he, like,
to
knows the way in or something.
He's part of the heist.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Oh my god, that'd be pretty interesting.
What are we gonna do with him at the end of the game? I'm fairly certain I suggested he die several times.
I mean, why?
Just because.
Oh god. I don't think that's going to happen, but are there any characters in the game who do die? And
well, that's spoilers. I can't say.
And is it an emotional thing for Marshall?
Brian.
What?
What I sent you the other day, would you say that was emotional?
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
You sent something?
It's spoilers.
Wait, you didn't read it yet, Ivy?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, don't read it right now.
Or if you do read it, don't read it out loud.
I'm out of the freaking loop.
It's in the mass page, yeah.
I only read the little Mines dungeon.
Oh no, he wrote a part.
Dialogue.
He wrote out a part of the game that is serious bad, serious stuff.
Serious bad.
Serious
bad.
Serious stuff. Like some stuff that Tanny would probably want to avoid at all costs.
Oh yeah, because they don't want any they don't want to spoil. They want to enjoy the game.
No spoilers. I'm looking right now.
I love how our community manager wants to work with the game, but doesn't want to know anything about the game.
That's okay. I appreciate that. It'll be a fresh experience.
The freshest.
Oh, let's see what.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if we had like. I mean, obviously we've talked about having more interactions with Oscar than just Phil. But like, I do think it'd be kind of cool if he ended up helping Marshall in some way, like I said, either with the casino situation or, I don't know, just some way where it's like, you know, he's a bad guy technically because he's a criminal, but he like still makes a connection with you as the player to where you, like, he's kind of like an anti-hero in a way.
Yeah.
Can I actually gamble in the game? Says Tanny.
We're gonna bring back, you know, like the game corner in Pokemon Red and Blue.
I was about to say the Pokemon game corner.
We'll just bring that back.
What's that like?
That was fun. Oh, all right. This is kind of messed up, but like, what if Oscar was like meat made out of one of Larm's enemies?
Oh my gosh! Why? Why?
What if he's like? So I guess that's a no, huh? We don't want to take.
So are you saying
evil.
that all food characters are not naturally made and they were just made by the magic of
No.
No, obviously marshmallow trees, hot dog trees.
Oh yeah, I mean you got a tree for everything.
Yeah.
So all right, we'll put a pin in that one. So I like the idea of him being like sort of I wouldn't say anti-hero because he's not really a hero at all.
No, but I do want him to have some sort of connection with the player at some point.
Yeah.
So he's not just like a random
redeeming.
occurrence.
I like that idea where he kind of helps you sneak into the casino in Avarice City. That would be
Yeah, it kind of
awesome.
fits because it's kind of an illegal thing that you're doing.
Right.
And he would know how to do it.
Right. And he's like, oh, they kicked me out too. So we're gonna go in through.
What are you in for?
We're gonna go in through the garbage. So then, once you get in, he should be behind the slot machines, like prying them open with a crowbar.
I love that.
What are you, a narc?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he says.
And he just says, "Go on without me," and then he just walks off to go steal coins.
The best part is Brian will go out of his way to make a variation of Oscar like prying open something that we're only going to be using one time just for one moment with one line of dialogue.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, yeah. It might not be super animated. It might be 2 frames, but I'll draw him like
Yeah.
shimmying behind a slot machine or something.
Shimmying behind it.
Perfect.
Oh man.
And then Oscar's like, I was once one of the Geldian knights, and he turned me into meat. Flarm turned me into meat. I don't know.
And the results have determined that was a lie.
Yeah.
Oh my god, have you guys played The Elder Scrolls to the point where you know who Mike the Liar is?
Yes.
I never played it.
Alright.
He's a Khajiit, right?
Yeah. So there's a Khajiit, who's the cat people in Elder Scrolls. And his name is Mike the Liar. And you constantly question whether or not he's telling the truth. And what if that's how Oscar is, where he just like lies so much that it's just like, I don't know if he's being honest here or if he's just bullshitting.
Yeah.
Oh, there should totally be an instance where like he tells you, like you ask him something and you like, oh yeah, it's the blue one. You know, it's actually like the red one or something, and you take his advice and it's like really bad for you.
Yeah.
It's like, why did I trust that hot dog? Every time I hear Oscar or even look at Oscar or think of a scenario with Oscar, I always think of that what's that Undertale song that plays in Sans and Papyrus's house, Brian? You know, it's just like
oh yeah, like weird goofy ditty. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I imagine every time.
I thought you were gonna say every time you think of Oscar, you want to gouge out your eyeball or something.
Oh no, only sometimes.
Only sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you saying that we should have like a theme play when Oscar is encountered?
Maybe eventually. We don't have to do that now, but that could be something we can do later. Or like a what we talked about before about how we have like a different theme for different emotions and stuff.
Yeah.
Like silliness, serious and stuff. We can use kind of like universal a bit, but then we still want to have the Wilson and Orbeck theme.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely need a theme.
Bumbling, Groose nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we said when we were talking about that.
So yeah, Wilson and Orbeck, they show up. They're kind of like Oscar too, where they show up throughout the game in the game's narrative.
Yeah,
Right.
they're the ones that are like Team Rocket, like
Right.
constantly pursuing Pikachu.
Yeah.
Except for Marshall's Pikachu, and they're after the. Well, I guess they were after Pikachu. They weren't really after anything else.
Chaos Emeralds.
They want to find out why he is posing as the Geldian Knight.
Right. Yeah, they
Because
saw his
they're
shield
both-
and they're like, hey, that guy has Ash's shield or whatever.
Yeah. You know, do we have it in the story that it's gradually revealed to him? You know, the whole Ash thing?
Yes,
revealed to Wilson and Orbeck?
Yes. Well, it's weird. It's really weird. It's like they realize that, or they see that he's not a bad person, you know? Like he's not like
Right.
somebody who would have robbed a corpse or anything, doing like the righteous thing.
I like how your example of not doing a good thing is robbing a corpse.
Well, I mean, that's what their initial reaction is, right? They
right,
see
'cause
the
he has the
shield.
shield. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I was
and
like,
they're
where
just
did
like,
you get that? Okay.
you little twerp. But they come to see like that they're actually like not that bad person that they were thinking before, and they see what's in him, kind of, and then they do get the answer after the fact. You know, it's like coming to that understanding before knowing it for sure. What?
I was just thinking, I know that they follow him around to figure out who he is. Do we have it at some point where you actually have to like encounter them and like they try to like, I don't know if fight is the right word, but like some sort of like conflict where like they try to stop you?
I was thinking about that, and we already have a scenario for when Shroomville, and then we have a scenario for Docktown. And I was just like, well, it would be really stupid if they just showed up on the ghost ship. That makes no sense. I think, and I want to know what you both think on this one. What if they show up in the court trial?
That would be fun.
Like, they're like part of it. And they're, and they're just like, and he robs corpses or something. Like, some like crazy outlandish thing. You're like,
wow.
What?
I mean, that'd be cool. I'd like that.
You're like, what the hell?
Yeah. And then he drops Pop.
He's dropping Pop, get him!
Yeah, I think that would be interesting. Is the whole battle going to be turn-based with the judge?
That's how I
That's
pictured
what we.
it.
Yeah, it's more of like this crazy scenario.
Mm-hmm. Right.
With
yeah,
this,
I think it'd be really
action.
cool if like it started out looking like a regular boss battle, and then like as you walk up to go fight him, he stops you and he's like, "There will be order in the court" or something, and then it does like the turn-based battle transition, which like, and then
Yeah. Din, din, din.
yeah,
We should use the exact wipe that they use in Final Fantasy.
oh, like the
VII.
spiral smear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
And all the sound effects will be us just recording our voices being like.
Can we get Rafa to do like a really like MIDI file sounding battle theme for that part?
Probably.
Like ripped from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That would be amazing.
I'm sure she would love to.
That would be so cool.
I'm getting the battle music to listen to.
Perfect.
So
yeah.
I was just gonna say regarding Wilson and Orbeck, if they're following him past the events at Dark Moon Isle, is it revealed to Marshall? How can I word this? Is it revealed to Marshall at that point about his past to where he knows who they are? Or is it just about who he knows? He knows more about who he is.
Yes.
But he's not quite sure, right?
Yes. Gosh, this is so hard to talk without spoilers.
I know. Like, how can I word this? Okay.
Yeah, like, so he doesn't know who Wilson and Orbeck are, and like, what if is that going to be revealed to him in a memory, or is it going to be like, oh, it comes back at the end suddenly?
It's kind of like a bit of both. And since Marshall is the player, it's more of the player's actions.
Yeah.
You know, like if just so happens, this is not in the game at all, but if in a memory he finds out that Orbeck loves curly fries or something, and you actually have a moment where you can give him curly fries, that's the player doing that because they watched that memory.
Yeah.
Like, that's not in the game at all. It's just an example. It's what the player does with that information.
Mm-hmm.
I was the kind of person where I was, when you play a game, I never really cared for having to do a few like ridiculous things to have a certain event to play differently.
Right.
I always liked it where the player was the one that would, make that action.
So are you thinking that there should be different things you can do that are like not side quests, but like different side things you can do that are optional that would basically change how they end up treating you?
I mean, yes, but at the same time, in a situation like this example, complete example, right? Complete example. You find out, the player themselves finds out ahead of time that, hey, if they go down this certain path right here, they will fall in a hole and they will die. And then when the player gets to that point in the game or gets to like this crossroad, it's like right or left. The player is still given the option to make that right, but it's up to the player to, make that choice. And they go right and like, oh fuck, right, there was a hole there, But if the game is like, you get to that crossroad and the game tells you, oh yeah, there's a hole over there, let's go left. The player doesn't get to decide, and you just took the power from them.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just what I think is the best approach with Toasty in decision making.
You basically want to give them options, but don't hold their hand with it.
Yes. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. So like, let's say you're in Avarice, right? And for some reason, Gretch is there paying their taxes, and Gretch is like, oh yeah.
Gretch is there at the H&R Block,
Yeah.
making it real.
Like you find out from Gretch that Rowan really likes jellied coffee. You could go to like a vending machine and there's like different options. There's like lemonade, iced coffee, maybe, I don't know, a cheesecake, and then like jellied coffee. And you could give Rowan any of those things, but if you give Rowan that jellied coffee, you get something out of it.
I'm sorry, what is jelly coffee?
Yeah.
So wait, really? You don't know either?
No, what is that?
So jellied coffee is gelatin fused with coffee, and what they do is they put them in these metal bottles. You can buy them at like Japanese markets. Over here we have a place called Mitsuya, and you actually shake it violently to break up the gelatin.
Oh.
And then you drink it. So it's like a Slurpee, but not ice, but Jello, but tiny Jello bits, and it's coffee, and it's really strong.
That does not sound good.
It's actually very good.
I thought you were just making up some weird food for the.
No, that's like an actual thing. But
Cool.
yeah, like the player is given that option.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like where it's like different. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, I always like to like experiment with different like ideas and stuff. Like, oh, you just give Rowan this lemonade. Rowan's like, oh, sick, awesome, thanks. But what if you find out from someone else that Rowan is definitely allergic to lemons?
Right.
Like things can go a different direction, and that's only if you explore. But then when you get to the point where
meter.
Yeah, Stardew Valley Toasty.
Well, yeah, but like, the thing is with Stardew Valley, that's actually a really, really good example right there. Is as you engage with them or do other things, you find out what inhabitants like, and you give them those things. But there's also things that they do not like, and you can give them literally anything, so that you're not limited to only giving them things that they like.
So, I don't know how complex you want to make that, but I feel like.
Oh, well, I'm not saying like a friendship meter and stuff.
I know, but you want different outcomes depending on what you give.
Yes, like I want the player to make that decision, even though they were given the answer somewhere else, or they didn't search hard enough and didn't get the answer.
I feel like if you give the whole thing about like if Rowan was allergic to lemons, I just picture like an animation of them like running to the bathroom.
Wow.
EpiPen.
Oh my god.
But I think that's the best approach with the game, really. But we won't make it to where the player will be insanely frustrated because they'll be stuck in a situation and they're kicking themselves because they can't get past a part. Like if you die, like making a decision or something doesn't work out in your favor, you always have the load save, try other option,
Yeah.
But they also are given the answer. Like the answer is always around. You just also got to like pay attention. But people do have a tendency to kind of just smash through dialogue. But that's what I'm trying to prevent with Toasty by having dialogue actually extremely fun and interesting to read.
Mm-hmm.
I want the player to actually like, oh shit, an NPC, let's talk to him. And I think we're doing a pretty good job about doing that.
Well, I try to branch out the dialogue a lot, so
oh yeah,
you may
like
get different results from
you
talking
meet
to
Charlotte for the first time, and you're just like, I need to know everything about this onion.
It's a shallot.
Yeah.
My bad.
And no, I definitely want to do more with the dialogue system. When I was writing a lot of the characters in Shroomville, I did a lot of branching dialogue, like, making it go off into like 3 different branches and stuff, so you can get like different results. The best was when people were getting confused with Barnabas or whatever his name is.
Barnabas Hootson.
Hoots and Boogles.
Yeah, I feel like
Voogles.
people struggle with that dialogue a bit. But I mean, we learned from that, so.
Yeah.
I like when he just gives up on you. If you,
Yeah.
like,
Like,
screw
wow,
up
you're
the
no help at
dialogue.
all.
It's
But
just like, oh, you're no help.
yeah,
Oh, Hoots and Voogles.
there
Hoots and our Voogles.
there are bound to be people that will get frustrated. But we're the developers, so we see the game from the inside. We know what we put what where, so it's not frustrating to us. But that's why when we do our QA and our testing and all that good stuff, we can get valuable feedback from people. Like, oh, I found getting the answer to this fairly easy, or this one was a bit of a thinker, or this was impossible. How the hell,
Right.
Yeah, but like if you need to get into a certain room and there's a certain passcode, and then you talk to B Dad, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I keep it on. I have a post-it note on my desk."
Be dad.
And then it's like, okay, if you talk to everybody trying to find it, you'll find out that the code is on a post-it note on a desk. But then there will be people that will literally talk to everybody but B Dad and be like, "What the heck? What am I doing?"
Right. You mean, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent right now.
No, it's
No,
fine.
it's fine. I'm seeing where it goes.
Oh, well, it went here.
Did we arrive? Are we here?
We're here.
I like that idea. Having like these tiny details that you investigate. I think we did that a lot in Shroomville, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking back like on the original demo, not like the first one we did, where it's like there were parts of the map you can investigate and like a little dialogue will pop up. I remember there was this one where if you like interact with this certain patch of like small mushrooms, they're like, "We are the Council of Shroomville,"
yeah.
or something.
Smite us down, and we will become more powerful than you can imagine. Or please don't.
Yeah, and the big honkin' mushrooms.
And then you kill them, and then it's like, oh.
Yeah. And then the Moonmen.
No, yeah, we don't talk about that.
I'm gonna have to cut this out.
The cryptids.
People aren't even supposed to know about them.
Well,
About what?
I think we'll have to have them know that they exist, but
Yeah.
that's a trick. Oh god, are we gonna even talk about that, like, in the story session? Like,
Nope.
I mean, we hardly talk about it as is.
Well, that's so. If you go into, this is really weird. I noticed this too. If you go to the drive and you go to the Toasty folder, and then in where is it? In game design docs, and then there's another one called story. There is this really weird. Yeah, there's this really weird corrupted folder in here. Have you seen that, Ives?
A corrupted folder, huh?
Yeah, if you go into the Toasty game design doc story corrupted folder, if you open it, there's a text doc that says stop them. Crazy shit's going on with this development. I can't.
I learned so much from this document.
I haven't even looked at it.
There's like 5 things written in it.
Are they secret?
Yes, insanely.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but that needs to be added too.
Lives.
What did you say?
Yeah. This is gonna change lives. Oh my god.
It's the Necronomicon.
Yeah. So, Justin, what is your... What kind of, like, message do you want to convey with the story of Toasty?
Oh, you mean like...
Just the overall theme and everything.
The theme? The theme is like being taken out of your own shoes, put into somebody else's, and experiencing a whole new world, and making some unforgettable friends, and having some equally unforgettable adventures. Is the way I can really.
So it's interesting because it's like self-discovery, but it's also being in someone else's shoes at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is really weird because it's 2 things at the same time if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I think that's really interesting.
Right.
Because most stories don't really do that. They don't have that duality.
Yeah.
With, like, the main character.
Right. And that's how it is with like a lot of RPG games, or I mean just a lot of games in general. They're just like, your name is Dan, you're pissed off, someone killed your wife, you want revenge. You're like, okay, I want revenge.
You just described Max Payne.
Really?
Oh, I thought you were describing Dan the Murderer.
Oh, I never even played Max Payne, but apparently I've lived it.
Apparently you wrote Max Payne.
So,
and
but with Toasty, it's like you said, self-discovery, but also being put in somebody else's shoes.
Yeah, like there's this level of empathy to it because you're experiencing something, you know, that somebody else through their memories, you know?
Exactly. But you're also given the choice on how you act upon having that knowledge.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, and that's an interesting thing where it's like, oh, you know, there's the amnesia aspect where you're uncovering memories as you move throughout the story. You talk to some NPCs and stuff, and then it's like maybe you'll remember stuff randomly. Like we have those moments where it's like you'll be traveling throughout, you know, different areas in the game, and suddenly like you'll unlock a memory or something, and it changes the way how you play things. There's a lot we could do with that.
Yeah.
One thing I just thought about, I know we have the, this isn't really story related, but I mean, I guess it kind of could be. Wait, no, that wouldn't make sense. I was gonna say,
tell me, no.
I was just gonna say, like, what if we had it so that, like, it doesn't make sense now I'm saying it out loud, but I was gonna say, what if we made it so that, like, his memories unlocked his, like, abilities, like the squish and the stick to the ceiling and stuff. But I was like, wait, I can't say why he wouldn't have remembered those things because that would spoil things. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, but what you say is interesting because it does give some weight to the memories. Like it gives some kind of purpose to the memories too. It also adds in that level of progression if you think about it, where it's like the character's getting stronger.
Yeah, but it doesn't really make sense with the story, like why you would remember.
I remembered how to squish.
Yeah.
I remembered what else does Marshall do?
He rolls, he squishes, he sticks to the ceiling, and then
Did we decide float?
well, I think with there was another thing, wasn't there?
Whatever.
Oh, the fire. He can light himself on fire.
Fire
The
ability.
fire thing, the one thing we have like programmed.
Yeah, the one thing
Yeah,
that's
that's in the game.
Don't tell him.
It's in the original demo.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of the Marshall squish ability, I think of the board game, the so cool 90s board game Grape Escape.
Oh my god, I forgot that existed. I remember now.
I had that back.
It was
in
like
the day.
with Play-Doh, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you make these grape characters, and then it's like they go around the board game, and it's also like a combination of mousetrap, like you can't land in the trap or else you get squished.
Right.
Squishoed. Grape Escape, play it.
It's like,
can you even get it anymore?
I think a trip to Amazon is in order.
Yeah, I
There's
remember
that.
that. Okay.
How could you forget the murder?
Only Mousetrap comes up on Amazon.
Oh my god, I forgot there was like scissors and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't get that anymore. That's why I still got my Furby. I'm kidding.
You
I
can
don't.
buy Furbies now still.
Do they still make them, or are they just for
Yeah,
sale?
except now the eyes are LEDs.
What?
Yeah, they're like LED screens, so they're digital
yeah,
eyes
you
that
didn't know
move
that?
around.
They've evolved.
Yeah, they have, basically.
This is scary.
Yeah, they're pretty rad.
Oh yeah, and apparently there's such thing as long Furbies, but that's something else entirely.
Yo, this is how the boss battle with Caramello should go. It should look like Grape Escape.
Honestly, that's a good example.
That'd be actually pretty interesting.
Because we wanted to do something where it's like this really complex contraption.
Yeah, you don't really fight him, you just kind of work the traps and stuff.
Yeah.
Can old Furby interact with new Furby? I don't think so. New Furby doesn't even look like old Furby.
If they set that up to be that way, that would be creepy.
Very.
If it, like, could recognize what another Furby was, even though it wasn't like the same
Yeah.
fake.
Oh no.
What?
Just imagine like a new Furby interacting with an old Furby. It's just like, this is what I've learned living in their world for the last 20 years, you know?
My face.
Hey, look, it's Marshall.
The right one in the box?
No, wait. I'll just cut it.
There you go.
We better get a shot of that during the video.
Oh
You do.
yeah, I when I edit these, I generally throw in like all the pictures of stuff that we put in the channel in the chat.
Yeah.
Our inane antics. But yeah, you know, that's a good example of like, I like that idea where it's like a lot of the boss battles are just totally different.
Yeah.
Like we have Rockside, the first boss battle is just, it's very much a classic Zelda battle, really. Then there's like the fight with Caramello where it's like it's kind of like the room that you're fighting almost.
Yeah.
And the boss on the, what do you call it, ghost ship is the giant skeleton where he's like in the background and you have to use elements in the foreground to fight him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very old school arcade like.
Yeah.
Metal Slug.
So I really like that we're changing it up. And then you get in the casino when you fight Takara, she that's very much a Mega Man fight, where it's like a one-on-one, like,
Yeah.
you know, someone
which
who
one?
has like your basic dimensions fighting you.
Yeah.
Which
And
one are
you
you
haven't
talking
had the fight with Takara.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
and-
my idea was kind of like a Mega Man
Right.
style fight.
And that's something that, that's actually perfect. Like, let's get into that a little bit really quick. That's something about A Link to the Past, as well as, Minish Cap had a lot of very dynamic boss battles, but I did notice that with a lot of the classic Zeldas, especially Link to the Past, which is one of my favorites, the boss battles aren't really like,
Alright.
I wouldn't go into a boss battle and be like, oh boy, I'm so excited, It's more like, all right, let's get this over with so we can get to the next dungeon.
Right.
I want the player to, when they fight the bosses, obviously it's like, it's a challenge, but at the same time, it's fun.
Yeah,
And
it's an experience.
from a story standpoint, that was very fun. Blind from Link to the Past, and I've talked about that many times before. And then in Skyward Sword, you fight Galactos, and I had a save file right before that boss battle, just so I could replay that boss over and over again, because I had so much fun fighting that boss.
Yeah,
and
everyone always talks about how much fun that boss is.
It's so much fun. It's great, and that's what I want with Toasty. I want the boss battles to be actually like satisfying and fun, and then when you finally beat him, you're like, heck yeah, I did it.
Well, and I think we're doing a really good job with like the boss design so far, because it's not just like there's a boss at the end of these things that's just kind of an unrelated monster. It ties into the area you're in, and then why you're there, and like the whole the reasoning for it. So it's not just like a battle to have a battle, like you actually have to do it because of something.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly.
Sorry, I mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. That's all I really had to say, and I believe we've hit the end of our meet.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, bam. Ended up going into a crazy tangent there. Started out talking about Oscar. Started talking about Furbies.
Yep.
Grape Escape.
Grape Escape. Yep.
Grape Escape. Apparently, there's a "the" in the beginning.
Well,
it's like
right
some
then.
kind of pun.
Yeah. So that's this actually concludes this this bi-weekly story meets.
I feel like that
will
went really fast this week.
Yeah, well, we were talking about some really, really fun shit.
It would be fun to have like a Q&A type deal.
Oh yeah,
One
definitely.
of these sessions.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. Down the road, we should have something like that. I agree.
Yeah.
A little Q&A. Probably maybe like maybe like after we release the on that one date,
Yeah.
we can probably do that on those.
The
On that one date.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
that one
Actually, I
thing that
don't.
we're gonna do on that one time.
Yeah. That one. That's the
course.
one.
It was so simple.
Perfect. Okay. Well.
Well, hey, thanks for hanging out, guys.
Yeah.
So, thank you, everybody. This has been our Toasty story meet for Toasty Ashes of Dusk. My name is Duper, Dupe Loop 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 Dupe Loop Dupe Loop 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 Dupe Loop, and I have been joined here with Art Blaster, also known as Brian, and Ivy McChivy, Wivey, 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 Chivy, Wivey, Chivy, Wivey, McWivey, Wivey, Chivy, with really cool haircut, Chivy, Wivey, Wive, Chive, Chive.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Woo.
And thank you for your continued support of the Patreon. We really appreciate it.
Yep. Bye, everyone.
Take care, everybody.